Episode 1. The Ultimate Exit Strategy. The neon sign behind Tyler's head flickered. Tyler's tricks used to be the gold standard of the internet, but today, the analytic page looked like a sinking ship. Look at this, Timmy. Tyler shoved his tablet into his manager's face. Some 12-year-old in a basement just got 5 million views for testing if water is wet. I'm out here teaching people how to survive bear attacks using only their toothpick. And I'm ghost town status. Timmy rubbed his temples. People are bored of survival, Tyler. They want a tragedy. They want a legacy. He leaned in, his eyes gleaming with a manic spark. We don't just need a stunt. We need an ending. An ending? Tyler scoffed. I'm 24. I haven't even peaked. Exactly, Timmy whispered. You don't die. You die. A tragic accident caught on 4K resolution. The views won't just return. They'll skyrocket. You'll be the king of the rest in peace edits. The live stream. Survival secrets of the great abyss. 2 hours later, Tyler was standing on the jagged edge of Dead Man's Drop, the wind whipping through his hair. 10,000 people were already in the chat. Hey, tricksters, Tyler shouted into the camera, flashing his signature blindingly white smile. Today we're talking high-altitude botany. Most people think you shouldn't peel an apple because of the flavor, but it's actually the vitamins in the skin that keep your reflexes sharp enough to... He stepped back, his boots slipping on a loose rock. Whoa, too close, he laughed, heart racing. He looked at the camera, giving the secret signal. Anyway, as I was saying, trees can actually save your life if you... Boom. Timmy didn't just use a little dynamite. He used enough to clear a highway. The entire ledge groaned and disintegrated. Tyler screamed, partially acting, partially terrified, as he plummeted into the mist, his parachute hidden under his tactical vest ready to deploy. Timmy grabbed the falling camera, framing his own face in a state of rehearsed, wide-eyed horror. Tyler, oh my God, did he just die? The stream, I have to call someone. Is he gone? The live chat explosion at Tricky Fan. No, I was literally just about to buy the apple peeler at legend_user. Dude, the whole mountain just gave up, RIP to a real one. At Soda Hater, he deserved it for that cola hair growth scam. But dang, not like this. At Conspiracy Cat, look at the frame rate at 412. He's totally a breakdancing ghost now. I'm calling it. 2. The Coffin Mix-Up. The internet was a battlefield. One half of Twitter was making rest in peace fan art, while the other half was framed by running the explosion footage, claiming the smoke looked like a CGI middle finger. Meanwhile, Tyler's tricky landing hadn't gone to plan. A stray boulder from Timmy's overkill explosion had caught him right in the temple. When the world finally stopped spinning, Tyler realized 2 things. It was very dark. It smelled like expensive satin and lilies. Outside the wood, he heard a sound that chilled him more than the dynamite. His father, the man who hadn't even blinked when Tyler broke his arm at age 6, was sobbing. He was a good kid, his best friend bore him choked out, dropping a bouquet of daisies onto the lid. A little obsessed with soda-based hair care, but a good kid. Tyler's girlfriend, Hope, didn't even get to say a word. The sheer stress of seeing her boyfriend go kaboom on a 4K live stream had caused her to pass out cold. The switcheroo hours later, the cemetery was silent. The only sound was the screech of a crowbar. The lid creaked open and Timmy's sweating face appeared. You're alive. Great, Timmy hissed, grabbing Tyler's arm. Now get out. We need to keep the mystery going. Where's Hope? Tyler asked, stumbling out of the silk-lined box. Timmy pointed to the unconscious girl, slumped on the grass. She saw too much, Tyler. If she wakes up and tells the cops you're alive, we're going to jail for insurance fraud. We need a placeholder. Without waiting for an answer, Timmy dumped Hope into the coffin. Wait, why are you putting her in there, you idiot? Tyler yelled. We cannot have witnesses, Tyler. Do you want the diamond play button, or do you want a prison cell? Tyler looked at the grave, then at the camera Timmy was still clutching. Fine, anything for fame, but we come back for her, right? Sure, Timmy lied, slamming the lid shut just as the graveyard shift workers returned to finish the job. The resurrection. The workers were tired. They began shoveling the heavy, wet dirt onto the lid. Thud, thud, thud. Inside, the vibration woke Hope up. Her eyes snapped open in the pitch black. She heard muffled voices. Tyler's voice. She screamed, punching the lid with the strength of a woman who had just survived a mental breakdown. Crack. The lid didn't just open. It flew off like a catapult, sending a pile of fresh dirt flying into the face of a terrified gravedigger. Hope climbed out, looking like a swamp monster in a sundress. A ghost, the worker screamed, dropping a shovel. Grab my shotgun. Grab the holy water. Grab anything. I'm not Tyler, Hope shrieked, spitting dirt out of her mouth. That idiot and his manager threw me in here. He's alive. The worker froze, his eyes bulging out of his head. Holy moly guacamole, he gasped. The dead are talking, and they're snitching. 3. The punk rock pivot. At the cemetery, the air smelled like gunpowder and damp earth. The worker racked another shell into his shotgun, his eyes wide with superstitious terror. I've seen Poltergeist 3 times. You stay in the hole, spirit. Boom. The shot whistled past Hope's ear, shredding the silk lining of the empty coffin. She didn't scream. She didn't creepy Molly. The emotional stress had turned into pure, cold-blooded adrenaline. As the worker stepped closer to the edge, Hope lunged. Crunch. A perfectly aimed kick to the groin sent the worker doubling over. Before he could wheeze out a prayer, Hope shoved him chest first into the mahogany box. If I'm a ghost, then consider this a haunting, she hissed, grabbing the shotgun from his trembling hands. She shoveled a massive pile of dirt over the lid, ignoring his muffled curses of, you'll never get away with this, you ectoplasmic brat. Hope walked out of the graveyard, dirt in her hair and a weapon on her shoulder. That spoiled bastard won't know what hits him, she muttered. Tyler's tricks were about to meet a very real consequence. The alleyway makeover across town, Tyler was shivering in a damp alleyway, looking less like a superstar and more like a fugitive. Timmy arrived breathless, clutching a stack of shopping bags. In order to keep this lie going, you need to disappear, Tyler, Timmy panted. No more designer hoodies. You need to look like an ordinary person. I'm thinking witness protection vibes. Maybe hair dye. Maybe a little snip-snip on the nose. Just go already. I don't pay you to run your mouth, Tyler snapped. 10 minutes later, Timmy returned with the disguise. It was a disaster. He had bought 5 stiff, pinstripe business suits that were 3 sizes too big and a neon pink, jagged hairpiece. Why did you get me a mohawk, you idiot? Tyler yelled, staring at his reflection in a puddle. It was the only wig left in the store, Tyler. It was this or a grandma perm, Timmy argued. Just put it on. We'll call it a rebrand. Tyler sighed, tugging the itchy pink mohawk over his head. Whatever. If it means I get to be a billionaire again, I'll wear a literal trash bag. The near miss. As they stepped out of the alley, a shadow fell over them. It was Borum, looking absolutely miserable, clutching a crumpled tissue. He stopped dead in his tracks, staring at Timmy. Timmy, aren't you Tyler's manager? Borum asked, his voice cracking. And who is that guy next to you? Why is he wearing a suit and is that a pink mohawk? Tyler froze, his heart hammering against his ribs. He looked at his best friend, tempted to tell the truth, but Timmy stepped in front of him with a salesman's grin. Borum, buddy, good to see you, Timmy lied smoothly. Meet Punk Rock, the next viral sensation. Ever since Tyler, went boom, I've been scouting for a new influencer with potential. I met him at a bus stop. He's the future. Borum squinted at Punk Rock. He looked at the suit, then the mohawk, then the suspiciously familiar white teeth. He looks familiar and kind of ridiculous. That's the brand, kid. Ridiculous sells. Timmy pushed Tyler forward. Right, okay, I guess, Borum muttered, too depressed to argue. Bye now, I have to go buy more tissues. As Borum walked away, Tyler let out a breath of relief, but then he heard a familiar click-clack sound from around the corner. The sound of a shotgun being cocked, or the digital ghost hunt. While the rest of the world was mourning with rest in peace hashtags, Tyler and Timmy were hiding out in a glass-walled mansion perched precariously on a mountainside. Tyler sat on a designer leather sofa, staring at his analytics. 50 million views, Timmy, 50 million. Tyler cackled, the glow of the screen reflecting in his greedy eyes. I'm making more money dead than I ever did alive. But Timmy was already thinking ahead. We can't stay dead forever, Tyler. People get bored. We need a multiverse of content. Within 48 hours, the mansion became a chaotic studio. Tyler launched Chef Ty, nearly torching the kitchen, trying to flambe a grape. He started Noob Master T, losing so badly at every game that the chat started roasting his AI-level skills. Finally, he started a conspiracy podcast, The Truth Hole, where he spent 3 hours arguing that the moon is actually a giant disco ball. I need a different voice changer for this one, Tyler muttered, tossing his pink mohawk onto a table. And a fake mustache. Nobody can know it's me. The stakeout down in the city, Hope was sitting across from Borum in a cramped cafe. Her hair was still dusty from the graveyard, and her eyes were wild. Borum, listen to me, she hissed. Dealer is alive. Borum sighed, checking his watch. What is it? Make it quick. I gotta get to work. Hope, the guy fell 250 meters. The cliff turned into gravel. Even if he survived the fall, he'd be a pancake. You're grieving, I get it, but this is a bit much. He planned it. It was a trick for views. Hope slammed her hand on the table. Timmy is in on it. They're hiding. I can't help you without evidence, Hope, Borum said, grabbing his coffee and walking out. This sounds like one of Tyler's bad conspiracy scripts. Hope didn't give up. She remembered Tyler's one fatal flaw. He was too narcissistic to turn off his Find My Phone location sharing. She tracked the signal 3 miles out of the city to the mountain mansion. Creeping through the brush, she reached the window and pulled out her phone. She caught it all. Tyler swearing at a burnt steak. Tyler throwing a controller at a wall. And finally, the smoking gun. Tyler reached up, ripped off the pink mohawk wig, and wiped off his fake tan. Snap. She took the photo, recorded the video, and vanished into the trees just as the sun began to set. She didn't notice the small, blinking red light of a 4K security camera tucked under the eaves of the roof, the expert's verdict. That night, Hope caught Borum just as he was locking up his office. See, look at the screen, she shouted, shoving the phone into his face. It's him. No wig, no punk rock suit, just Tyler. Borum squinted at the screen. Hope, come on. With the new AI updates, this could be a deepfake. It's too smooth. It looks like AI slop generated to trick me. I swear on my life it's real. Fine, Borum groaned. I'm calling my friend Jax. He's a digital forensics expert. He can spot a fake video in 60 seconds. They drove to Jax's neon-lit apartment. Jax plugged the phone into a massive rig, running filters and checking for reality-breaking glitches or pixel warping. After 5 minutes of silence, Jax spun around in his chair. There's no metadata tampering, Jax said, looking stunned. The light reflections on his skin match the room perfectly. No AI artifacts. No editing. This is 100% raw footage. Borum, your dead friend is definitely eating a sandwich in a mansion right now. Borum's coffee cup hit the floor. That son of a... He let me cry for 3 days. Episode 5, The Riverside Trap. Inside the mansion, the 4K security footage looped on a massive screen. Tyler watched Hope's face through the window and felt a pit in his stomach. She's gonna ruin me, Timmy, Tyler muttered, pacing the rug. Maybe we should just come clean. This hiding is exhausting. I miss the old days when I could just ignore a 12-year-old's fan mail or steal a kid's ice cream without wearing a pink mohawk. I want my life back. Timmy slammed his laptop shut. Admit the truth and go to jail for fraud? No way. Drama is the engine of the internet, Tyler. We don't need authenticity. We need a villain. And Hope just volunteered for the role. What's the plan? Tyler asked, adjusting his neon wig. A public meet and greet at the Riverside Amusement Park. We'll show the world punk rock is real. If Hope shows up with the cops, we don't run. We humiliate her. We make her look like a grieving, obsessed stalker. The internet will eat it up. The amusement park showdown. The afternoon sun beat down on the Riverside Pier. Tyler, dressed in an oversized suit and his jagged wig, was busy signing autographs with a permanent marker. mostly on kids' foreheads, and accidentally knocking ice cream cones out of toddlers' hands for his hidden camera vlog. Suddenly, the crowd parted. Hope marched forward, her face pale but determined. Behind her stood Officer Finkelberry, who was busy scrolling on his phone. "This is taking forever," Finkelberry grumbled. "When am I going to arrest someone? I have a donut waiting for me in the cruiser." Tyler felt his knees shake, but Timmy pinched his arm hard. Tyler stepped up onto a wooden platform, his voice changer box crackling. "Oh, look at that," Tyler shouted to the crowd. "It's my late friend's girlfriend. Hope, right? Why are you here crashing the party?" "You're going to regret throwing me into that coffin, Tyler," Hope screamed, pointing at him. "Officer, look at his face. Look at the ears. That's Tyler's tricks." Tyler took a deep breath and turned to the massive crowd, putting on his best concerned face. "Everyone, I have something to say about Hope. It's a tragedy, really. She's so broken by Tyler's death that she started stalking me. She thinks if she can prove I'm him, she can marry me for the insurance money or the attention. It's honestly scary." The crowd gasped. Officer Finkelberry looked up, his eyes wide. "Is this true? You're harassing this poor punk rocker because you're lonely?" "He is lying, I promise," Hope shrieked, looking around at the sea of angry faces. The mob began to close in. A man reached out to grab Hope's arm, yelling to leave the legend alone. In a flash of pure panic, Hope's hand went to the shotgun she'd taken from the graveyard. Bang! The blast echoed off the roller coasters. The man collapsed, clutching his shoulder as blood stained his shirt. The entire amusement park went silent. The only sound was the distant scream of a seagull. Officer Finkelberry didn't hesitate. He tackled Hope to the wooden boards, slamming the handcuffs onto her wrist with a metallic clink. "You're arrested for attempted murder and a false police report," Finkelberry growled, dragging her toward the car. "I'm bringing you to the station. You can tell your ghost stories to a judge." As the police car sped away, Tyler looked at Timmy. He should have felt happy, but as he looked at the blood on the pier and the 50,000 people filming the incident on their phones, he realized he wasn't just a YouTuber anymore. He was a monster. Episode 6, the final stream. Tyler's conscience was finally glitching. Every time he looked in the mirror at that neon pink mohawk, he saw a stranger. On his Truth Hole podcast, he started dropping breadcrumbs. Sometimes he'd whisper into the mic, "The biggest trick is believing your own lies." The internet detectives were already spinning. The comment sections were a war zone. Is Tyler's manager Timmy a puppet master? Was trending globally. The evidence in the trial borum had seen enough. After bailing Hope out, he knew they needed more than a snapshot. They needed a feature-length film of the truth. They crept back to the mansion, recording through the glass as Tyler paced without his wig, his real voice echoing through the vents. Crack! The door didn't just open, it flew off its hinges. Hope and Borum stormed in like a SWAT team of truth. Tyler scrambled for his wig, but it was too late. They had the voice, the face, and the confession. The next morning, the courtroom was packed. Officer Finkelberry sat in the back, checking his watch and muttering about his microwave dinner. "Your Honor," Hope stood tall, pointing a finger at the man in the pinstripe suit. "That man is a fraud. He threw me in a coffin, faked a mountain collapse, and stole the world's grief for profit." She played the 7-minute video. No glitches, no AI slop. Just Tyler, being Tyler. The judge leaned forward, his spectacles slipping. "Mr. Mohawk, what is your defense?" Tyler opened his mouth to lie, but in his nerves, his finger slipped on the remote in his pocket. The voice changer died with a pathetic bloop. "I'm not guilty," he said in his perfectly recognizable, high-pitched Tyler voice. The room erupted. Tyler ripped off the wig. "I didn't die, Your Honor. I'm a lady." "Fraud!" the judge bellowed. "Arrest them!" The infinite loop. "Run, Tyler!" Timmy screamed. They bolted for the exit, but Finkelberry was faster. He pulled his service weapon. But Timmy, ever the protector of the talent, body slammed Tyler out of the way. The bullet went wavy, clipping the judge's bench as the courtroom dissolved into a riot. Tyler and Timmy scrambled into their getaway car, tires screeching all the way back to the mountain mansion. They barricaded the doors, but the blue and red lights were already reflecting off the glass walls. "Just give up, Tyler!" Borum shouted from a megaphone. "It doesn't need to end like this." Tyler reached for the handle, ready to surrender, but Timmy's grip was like iron. He shoved a 4K camera into Tyler's shaking hands. "You can't stop now. The police are outside. The helicopters are above. This is the greatest live stream in human history. Record everything. Go viral." Tyler looked at the lens, then at the door. He sighed, the red REC light blinking like a heartbeat. Outside, Finkelberry was losing his patience. "I have a lean cuisine waiting for me, you brat. I'm ending this now." He didn't wait for a tactical entry. He pressed a black detonator button, the same kind Timmy had used on the cliff. Boom. The foundations of the mansion, already weakened by the first stunt, gave way completely. The glass shattered into a million diamonds as the house slid off the mountain. Tyler and Timmy fell into the abyss, the camera recording every second of their 250-meter drop. The screen went black. The last comment on the live feed read, "Wait, was that real or just episode 7?